Okay, yeah, so I'm back. Um, yeah, so I talked about like endangered species previously in regards to like federal action. Um, and some of these are all dealing with um, species at risk. Um, in the last week, there's been um, three items, and these are all bulletins. But there's an opportunity to comment within these. Um, yeah, so there's additional time required to prepare recovery strategies for downy yellow false glove and false glove sun mouth under the Endangered Species Act 2007, and this is Ontario legislation, not to be confused with the Canadian legislation. And this has the number of 019 6324. And there's no opportunity to comment directly on this notice, but you can still comment through pre consultation in the links in at least one of these. Um, Finalizing recovery strategies for six species at risk and initiating pre consultation on government response statements. This has a number of 019 6289. Um, and amendments to Ontario Regulation 230/08 species at risk in Ontario list in response to uh, cost sales 2021 annual report. Um, so I'll look at these. Um, is there anyone that you would like to go further in depth? So they gave reasons why there was no consultation required. Um, um, so there was the government also changed the Endangered Species Act legislation early on. Um, and there was controversy around that. So they're saying that they have 1 year for endangered species and 2 year for threatened species, and then the minister can extend um, the time due to complexity, uh, the desire to prepare recovery strategies in cooperation with one or more other jurisdictions, or the desire to give priority to the preparation of required recovery strategies for other species. So it sounds like that's what they did here. Um, and then these species, the downy yellow false glove and the false glove sunmouth, were added um, to the species at risk Ontario list as endangered, triggering the requirement to develop recovery strategies for these species by January 26, 2023. Um, and when was this posted? Oh, it was posted on January 26th, so that's interesting. And then they're saying additional time is required to complete the recovery strategies for the downy yellow false glove and the false glove sun moth, The additional time will allow us to prepare the strategies in cooperation with the federal government as they complete work on recovering strategies for these species. And then they estimate it will be 2025. So another 2 years. So that means that the habitat, in the meantime, the habitat could be destroyed. I might look at yellow phosphate, see if I can find any facts on it. So it looks like it's a plant, and then there's a information about it. It's endangered. Um, so it's a tall, herbaceous perennial with showy yellow flowers that can be 2.5 meters. Um, and it's hemiparasitic. It taps roots of other plants, particularly oak species. And it's found in dry, open to semi-open upland oak forest, woodlands and savanna habitats on well-drained soils. Um, Threats due to association with open to semi-open oak ecosystems. Oak ecosystems are in decline due to fire suppression, invasive species, and threats because they result. Invasive species or threats because of shading, altered ground cover, and competition. Browsing due to white-tailed deer, expansion of formal trail networks causing increased foot traffic from people. So any of the sometimes like illegal snowmobiles could be a problem as well. I wish that the government should have used the Latin name. So I'm looking at the Wikipedia, see if there's anything indicating like their significance in the ecosystem. So I was hoping to get lucky. Those iNaturalist. They might have something. They don't seem to have anything that I can find like right away. But I know that some endangered species are like integral to the ecosystem, and we should protect as many endangered species as we can. Okay, so it says Danny Yellow False Foxglove and the False Foxglove Sun Moth currently receive species and habitat protections under Section 9 and 10 of the Endangered Species Act. In addition, those actions to protect and recover species at risk may continue in the absence of a final recovery strategy. The delays will not jeopardize the survival or recovery of the species. Um, I'm skeptical of that, and they'll um, because this government um, has legislation that um, is harmful to endangered species. Ontario is working with partners, stakeholders, Indigenous people, and the public to improve effectiveness of the Species at Risk program so that we can continue to preserve Ontario's rich biodiversity for generations to come. Um, that's what it says, which I'm skeptical of as well. Um, let's see. Oh, let's see. And then there's like supporting species. Finalizing recovery species strategies for 6 species at risk and initiating pre-consultation on government response statements. I'll see what it says here. Um, so this one says that there's pre-consultation. The Ontario government has finalized recovery strategies for fawn, foot, and 3-horn wallabyback, 2 mussel species, lilliput, a mussel species, saw-green and toothed globe, 2 snail species, white-rimmed shingled lichen. And they'll scientific advice to the government on the protection and recovery of these species. And then they're inviting people to review this advice and share your input via the survey links provided in the pre-consultation on the government response. So those survey links, I won't do this on this stream, but I'll definitely look at them. Unless you're interested in that. And then there's a couple of surveys, and you can do them between January 25th and February 24th online or by email at recovery.planning@ontario.ca. Um, and then there's some related files for each of the recovery strategies. So that might be something to explore further. Amendments to Ontario Regulation 230/8 Species at Risk in Ontario list in response to CASAO's 2021 annual report. Um, um, so yeah, there's a connection to the CASAO's organization and the Endangered Species Act. COSSAO has to submit an annual report to the Minister of Environment, Conservation and Parks. That includes species assessment meetings held since the submission of a previous report, including the classification of each species assessed, a summary listing the decision rationales. And then there's species classification. And then the minister has 12 months. I believe it was shorter than 12 months at one time. There's 7 new species that were newly classified. The American bumblebee is special concern. Davis shieldback. They do have lots of names in in brackets was threatened. Lesser yellowlegs was threatened. Purple woollyback was threatened. Reversed hopla moth was is now threatened. Striped white lip is now endangered. Shuckley's cuckoo bumblebee is now endangered. Um, and then some were reclassified from threatened to special concern. And then there's more detail in this. And then there's a link to the report. It's probably long, so might be something that I look at um, on a different date. Yeah, so it's 46 pages. Yeah, so this might be something to look at. Um, I was skimming through this. So the summaries. Yeah, so that might be of interest to some of you. Um, yeah, so what I want to do now